While the Grand Slam of Darts is still a very interesting tournament, it used to be even more unique as it featured some players from the BDO, the long-time former rival of the PDC. This proved controversial at first, as the BDO were not involved in organising the event and took direct action against it, causing one of their biggest names to miss it. Today, we're going to take a look at the controversial story of the Grand Slam and why Adams, one of the BDO's biggest names, was banned from it. In 2006, the PDC calendar was much smaller than the jam-packed one that we have today, with only 5 major events being held, all of which were shown on Sky Sports in the UK. As the PDC was getting more and more popular, they needed more events, and at the start of 2007, it was announced that a new tournament, the Grand Slam of Darts, would be held that year in Wolverhampton, featuring 32 players who had reached major finals in the previous 2 years in both the PDC and notably the BDO, which for people who don't know, had a monopoly over pro darts for many years before all of their top players left in a bitter split in 1993. At the time of that announcement, it was said that the BDO hadn't made a decision about if they were going to allow their players to play in the event. The reigning BDO Lakeside World Champion, Martin Adams, then confirmed that he would only play in the event if it was sanctioned by the BDO. He said that he was loyal to the BDO and would never join the PDC full time. This news came out a few weeks after the tournament was announced, and Martin said that the PDC had contacted him personally about the event, but that the BDO was still yet to say anything. It was also later announced that the tournament would be shown on ITV, making it a much needed free-to-air event for the PDC and marking the first time that the channel had shown darts in 2 decades. Sky did have an option to show it, but reportedly decided they were already showing enough darts. Controversy then hit the event before it began, when over the summer, the BDO announced the dates for their 2 biggest events, the Lakeside World Championship and the historic World Masters. This announcement was notable as the dates of the World Masters were moved from mid to late October, where they had been for the previous few years, to the 16th, 17th and 18th of November, meaning that the final 2 days would clash with the first 2 of the inaugural Grand Slam, meaning that the BDO players had to decide between competing for much more money in the Grand Slam or key ranking points in the World Masters. If that was a coincidence, it would be crazy, but it was very likely that the BDO did this deliberately, another sad example of the bitter but necessary split in darts. PDC boss Barry Hearn responded by saying the following: "I was very surprised to hear this news. The decision to move the World Masters to a date that clashes with the Grand Slam is total lunacy, and I'm not sure who's to blame. If the BDO have moved the dates, then all they're doing is depriving 2 of their players the chance of competing in the Grand Slam, as the finalists would have received an invitation. If it's a BBC decision, then they should really be ashamed of themselves for putting on their network an event worth only £30,000 last year against ITV's big money Grand Slam. Either way, let's hope common sense prevails and the decision is reversed, because the people who are going to suffer from this are the darts fans and players." Immediately after those dates were confirmed, Lakeside champ Adams confirmed that he would play in the BDO World Masters, a big blow for the Grand Slam. He said that Hearn had called him to try and get him to change his mind, saying that he felt Adams had misguided loyalties. Martin said that the truth was, without him involved as the BDO World Champ, the Grand Slam would not deliver what the PDC had promised, with the biggest players from both organisations. Despite that blow, Adams was the only top player from the BDO to choose the World Masters, with the other BDO invites all choosing to play in the 2007 Grand Slam. The first edition went ahead in the planned dates and was won by Phil Taylor, who beat Andy Hamilton, who was playing in his first PDC major final. The 2008 and 2009 World Masters were held at a later date, meaning they did not clash with the Grand Slam, but Adams still chose to refuse his Grand Slam invitations, leading the PDC's board of directors to choose to make him ineligible for any invitations to any future PDC events, an effective ban. For that 2009 year, he was replaced by Scott Waits, who a year later became the first BDO player to win the Grand Slam when he beat James Wade 16-12 in the final, despite having trailed the then PDC World Number 2 8-0 at the start. Adams responded to his ban from the PDC by saying the following: "There must be a few short memories within the PDC hierarchy, because several years ago, when I refused to sign a contract with them, I was told that I was barred from all PDC televised tournaments. so never mind them criticising me for refusing an invitation. Surely they are breaking their own rules by even asking me. To be honest, I really don't understand why the PDC are making such a big fuss out of my decision not to play. They even put in their invitation letter that I didn't have to bother replying if I was going to decline, so I didn't. The fact that they have now decided to not invite me will save me the trouble of having to decline something they shouldn't have sent me in the first place. What other players do is up to them, but I'm a BDO man, and that's where my loyalties are. I believe in the system in which I have played for over 25 years, and despite what others claim, loyalty is not a dirty word in my vocabulary. Despite that supposed ban being introduced in 2009, by 2011 there were already rumours that he would be appearing in the Grand Slam after he gave an interview where he said that he'd held discussions with the BDO and certain political issues had been sorted regarding the other side of the game. 2011 did see Martin become a three-time BDO World Champ, but he again didn't appear in the Grand Slam, which he also didn't in 2012, 13 and 14. It's unknown if he was even invited in these years. Then in 2015, a year in which Martin reached a 5th Lakeside World Final, in a shock tweet he announced that he'd accepted an invitation to play in the Grand Slam that year. Big news in the darting world. He explained why in this audio interview.
Well, it's not too mysterious, really. I was spoken to by the BDO just over a week ago, so this was coming up, and I'd got will get an invitation, and I'm playing in it because I've been asked to by the BDO. Well, not asked to, they want me to, so I said yes. If they hadn't been, of the mind we want you to, then I probably wouldn't, no.
A very different atmosphere at the PDC events. Is that something you'll relish?
Well, not so much relish, no. It'll just be a repeat of an exhibition audience, to be perfectly honest. And that's, you just take it as it is, really. I don't personally welcome the sort of the crowd noise that's created at PDC events, but if that's the way it is there, then that's the way it is, and I'll just get on with it. Are you
expecting the crowd to maybe give you some stick?
Yeah, of course I am. Without a doubt, yeah. There'll always be those in the crowd that want to put me off.
When the event finally came around, Martin looked to be genuinely enjoying himself, and he won his first group game, beating Ian White 5-2. He played great in that game and averaged 104, and then beat both fellow BDO World Champions Jelle Klaasen and Steve Beaton to top the group with an undefeated record, a great performance for his debut. In the last 16, he went 9-7 down against Kim Huybrechts in a first to 10 game. He then won back-to-back legs to force a decider, which he went on to lose, but he looked like he'd enjoyed his experience. In his post-match interview, he said that the crowd had been great and confirmed that he would play in the event again in 2016 if invited. He did play again that year, but lost his 3 group games to MVG, Max Hopp and Brendan Dolan, meaning he finished bottom of the group instead. That was his last Grand Slam appearance. The Grand Slam has certainly lost something since the BDO ceased operating. Let me know what you think the PDC should do with the event in the future in the comment section down below. Should they get the WDF involved or the ADC? Something like that would certainly be interesting. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, as it really helps the channel out. Currently, just 15% of my viewers are. You can also hit the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. Also, leave a like if you enjoy this style of darts videos. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel.